everyone, it's Max and welcome to a new week's reading vlog. It's been a minute. There wasn't a reading vlog last week, and that is because I decided to take a break. I'd read through all of my TBR card books and I just decided, you know what, this week I'm not gonna read. I'm gonna take a step back because I was really feeling the slump. Now I'm back and I'm so excited to be reading. It's February 1st and it's a nice clean slate, new week, new month. It's perfect. And the book I'm starting out with, I'm so excited about. It is definitely a huge booktube hit, and that is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. And I think this goes towards like an adult sci-fi for TBR cards. I am very excited. I'm only like 20 pages in, I want to say. Yeah, like 18 pages in, and I'm already into it. This is about I think what I've gathered is like it's basically a solar system and different planets have like different purposes, and we're on the 9th planet, which is all about like death and necromancy, and our main character is an indentured servant and she keeps trying to escape, and that's literally all I've gotten to. And I think there's like a competition and she's like taken along by like the leader or the heir to the 9th planet, and I know it's like hate to love, enemies to lovers, which is like my favorite if it's done well, and I think this is done well, so I'm really excited about this. And then I also want to pick up A Local Habitation by Sean and McGuire. I thought I'd borrowed it from my library like to Kindle, and like it just hasn't shown up. I can't find it anywhere. I can't even find it like on the library, so I did just decide to buy it. I bought that and A Close and Common Orbit because it happened to those books. Like I'm like, I borrowed these, I remember borrowing them, and now like I can't find them anywhere, and so I just decided to buy them. I had some Amazon credit because I returned something, so I got them for free basically, which is really exciting. So that should be coming on Thursday. So I'm giving myself 4 days to read this, which is perfect because it's 444 pages, so I read 111 pages a day, and I end on like 111, 222, 333. Like I love that. So I am really excited to be picking this up. A Local Habitation is the second book in the October Days series. The first one, Rosemary and Rue, it's about this woman named October Day who is cursed one day and like turns into a fish for 14 years. She wakes up back as a human and she's just kind of like lost, you know. Her family has moved on, everyone has moved on, but then one of the only people who has like accepted her back and her only friend ends up dying, and she's charged with finding out who killed her. I think it's gonna be kind of like a female Dresden Files, which I'm so into because I wanted to love Dresden Files, but it was so misogynistic and I hated Harry Dresden. So I'm really hoping that this is it with a female main character by a female author. I'm really hoping that that's what's gonna happen. And then I'm also gonna start Bloodhound by Tamora Pierce, which is the sequel to Terrier. This is my audiobook, one of 2 for the month. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, no, I'll be able to read a lot this week because I'm going back and forth to my dad's house. Not tonight, Monday for reasons, but I will be for the rest of the week. Tonight I have 911 Lone Star, which is just this show that I'm like obsessed with now, and it's a crossover, so I have to watch like 911, which Lone Star is the spin-off of, and I've never seen it before, and I'm just like, this is gonna be really fun. I'm gonna be so confused. But I've got both of those tonight and The Bachelor tomorrow. So it's gonna be a watch-filled week, plus I'm really getting back in the mood to read, so I'm really excited to be picking this one up because I think I'll be starting with a bang. But I'm gonna go to the gym, and then my mom's coming home and we'll be making dinner. I just got off work. Work has become so busy. I've been working overtime quite a bit, so I might be also working overtime this week, so we shall see. Maybe I should have taken a break this week from, or no, it was last week where I was actually working a lot of overtime and I was just like kind of just dried out. So not reading actually was perfect for that week because it was so busy and I was just like mentally exhausted. So I'm really excited to be starting to read again. And I'll talk to you all later. All right, everyone, it's 11:20 and I am 122 pages into Gideon the Ninth. It's taking me a bit longer to get through than I was expecting. I don't quite know why. I think I'm just really trying to get acquainted with the world. I'm still quite confused about a lot of things, but the basic premise is that these 9 worlds are ruled by like this one guy, and like so each planet has their own like president, but like not really a president because it's like they're born into it and stuff. I don't know. And all of a sudden the king decides to like make one representative of each world like his closest confidants or something, and like they become immortal if they like pass this test. And so Haro, who's like the princess of the 9th house or 9th planet, she is the one to go, and she needs like a swordsman like at her side, like kind of a second, and Gideon is like literally the only option. And so she forces Gideon to go with her, and they're kind of about to start these trials to like see if they can become these immortal beings, but they're not really immortal because they can die. I don't get it. I really don't like Haro, and I know that there's a romance that's gonna like blossom between Gideon and Haro, and I wish we were getting her point of view. I rarely wish for like double POVs, but in this case I do, because I feel like she has a reason for why she's an absolutely horrible person, but I just don't know what it is. And like, I think Gideon has all the reasons in the world to hate Haro. Gideon is an indentured servant, and like Haro makes her life an actual living hell. Haro has no reason why she should be making Gideon's life a living hell. Like, I just don't understand any of her motivations, and I just don't like her at all. I find her just spoiled and annoying and too much power, and I don't like her, so I'm a little nervous about how their romance comes to be. I think it might stem from the fact that like they've only got each other, but I thought that's how it was gonna go. But it's been like, I don't remember how many days it's been since like they've been like on like the first planet, but they like, Gideon like never sees Haro, so I don't know. I'm still just like a little confused about everything in general, because the whole world, like all of the people have necromancer magic, like the rulers have necromancer magic, and so I don't really know what separates each world, because I don't know. I'm still like confused about like the hierarchy and the dynamics and what each world brings to the table. Because I just don't think that's been explained. Then there's already shaping up to be kind of a stupid rivalry that's just petty and annoying, where like the main character does something to like slightly wrong the other, and the other's like, I shall hate you forever and I shall strive to kill you, and like just ridiculous stuff like that, which is like, I hate it. I find it so annoying. It's like, get off your high horse. Like, Gideon could literally, there was a duel, and she's never been in a friggin' duel before, and I don't think she knew, because it didn't say it in like the rules, like when she was being explained the rules, that if you're disarmed, the duel's over. She's disarmed, but they have 2 weapons, so she goes in with her other weapon. And I was like, right. And he's like, that's against the rules, meh. And I was like, okay, she could have literally been like, sorry, didn't know that. Like, and again, Haro just, she like forbids Gideon from speaking. She's like, don't talk to anyone. And it's just like, really? So Gideon like can't say anything. She can't like speak up for herself. She can't do anything. And Haro just lives to make her life a living hell. And it just drives me crazy. And it's literally, Gideon asks her like, why are you doing this? She's like, because I hate you. And it's like, well, why? Because Gideon has all of the reasons in the world to hate you, but you don't seem to have any real reason to hate her. And I'm hoping that there is a reason, and we're just like being kept in the dark about it. Because if there isn't a reason, she's just petty. I'm really not gonna like her probably ever. So we'll see. And this is supposed to be like, I like enemies to lovers when like you can understand both sides. And that's why I wish we had Haru's point of view, because I think that would make it better. Because right now I don't like her at all. But we'll see. But I'm going to bed. It's late. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Hi everyone. It's Wednesday. I didn't update you yesterday, but there is a valid reason for it. And it's not that I didn't read, because I am 232 pages into Gideon the 9th, which means I have like 210 pages left. I'm enjoying it. The plot is thickening. The world building is still so slow, but I am getting more. And it turns out like I'm thinking each like house, quote unquote, which is like a planet, has a different type of necromancy magic. So the 9th house has bone magic, the 8th house has like soul magic, and someone else has like spirit magic. Don't ask me the difference, I don't know. But the plot is definitely thickening. There's starting to be a blooming friendship between Gideon and Haro, and I still wish we had more of like Haro's point of view and like her motivations, because I still don't like her. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go to my dad's house. Work was so insane today. Literally, I opened orders, right? I'm not gonna go into more depth, but I have an inbox, and I at no point during the day had less than 15 orders in that inbox until like the last hour. So it has been so hectic, and I'm mentally exhausted. So I'm gonna go work out, read, and I will talk to you all later. Hi guys, it is Wednesday night. My hair's a mess. I just got out of the shower. I don't have my brush, so it's unbrushed. But I am 277 pages into Gideon the Ninth. And I really just have one word, and that is confused. I am so confused. I feel like nothing is being explained. There are so many side characters, and trying to figure out like what house they're with and like what their actual power is. And I know there's a guide at the front for like who's in what house, but I'd honestly have to reference it like every time someone's brought up. And it's just so confusing. And it just like, because also there's like 9 houses, so there's like heirs to each house, but then there's also like their bodyguard, and so there's like 18 people to keep track of, and none of them are differentiated. Like, it's not even like magic. Their magic isn't even like that big of a deal. I wish it was, so that we could be like, oh, they're using this magic, that means they're the 8th house, or oh, you know, they're doing this, that means they're the 3rd house. There's not. And it's just, I feel like there's no logic to this world. And literally, I guess they keep talking about how there's only one rule, and I'm still like, what the hell is the rule? And they're just trying to figure out how to become these people that are like right hands to like the emperor and are kind of immortal. And it's just like, there's duels being fought, and it's still like, why? Like, at first it was like, oh, because they're just like practicing with each other, and like, you know, but now it's like, you've affronted us, you must duel. And it's like, but why? And it's like they keep referencing stuff. They're like, hey, you're the one who decided to pick on the young ones. I'm like, when did they do that? Like, I'm just so confused. There's been like no world building. There's been no explanation of like the magic or like the hierarchy. And it just, none of it is making sense. Like, literally none of it. I'm still like, what is even the test? Like, they're trying to find these keys, but I'm like, what are the keys? And like literally when they found out something about the keys, everyone's like, ah, and I'm like, you, what? Like, I thought that that was just obvious. Like, I thought the whole reason why this competition was happening was like, I don't know. I'm so confused. And like, literally nothing is being explained, which is just really annoying. And and no character except Gideon is memorable. Like, she's like, she brings up these people, and I'm like, oh, have we met them before? Like, no one is like leaving an impression in my mind. And I'm just honestly really frustrated. I'm frustrated with the world. I'm frustrated that like just nothing is being explained. Like, literally nothing. And it's like, this test doesn't even make sense. And Tamsin, I feel like, is like relying on such little information, and I don't think that's a good idea. It just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. It honestly feels like she is writing like a regular like contemporary fiction novel from like a different world, like being like, yes, and you all know about this because you live in this world. Like, we don't have to explain like schools or like getting on the school bus, like, or like getting a job, because like in our world that's like stuff people do. So I feel like that's like how Tamsin Muir is going about this, where it's like, yeah, you live here, you know the different worlds, you know the hierarchy, you know the powers, like whatever. Like, literally that's what it feels like, because nothing is being explained and everything is just so confusing. Nothing makes sense. Literally nothing makes sense. And it's just, I feel like there are scenes missing. Like, I got a copy where scenes are missing, because it's like one moment it's like some people, and then all of a sudden like everyone else is there, and you're like, wait, when did they get here? And like, what's happening? And it's just aggravating, and I'm just not, it's not enjoyable. Like, I'm just sitting here like, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. I'm just like reading fully confused, and I just don't like it. So I am gonna keep reading though because I want to know what happens. People love this book and I'm trying to understand why, because right now I'm just confused. I'm just a ball of confusion where nothing about this book makes sense. So I've got like 50 more pages to read today, something, I don't know, and I will talk to you all once I've done so. I'm just hoping it gets better. All right, it's almost midnight and I'm 330 pages into Gideon the Ninth. Still confused, still annoyed, don't know what the hell is going on, and now something new is like popping up where I'm like realizing that Gideon just doesn't care. Like there have been multiple things that are like really interesting that have like happened in front of her and she just leaves because she just doesn't care. And because we only follow her, we don't get anything. And so it's just frustrating. I like Gideon, but like, I don't know, just following her is a lot because she doesn't care enough about like anything other than herself. And then I just don't like Haro and I'm just confused. Literally no part of this plot makes sense. Like they're all dying. They're basically kind of getting picked off one by one. And like, where the hell is the Emperor to like come and like help or talk to them? So my theory is that the Emperor is dead and no one wants to tell them, but whoever wins this whole trial or whatever, like there's actually like last person standing, and whoever the last person standing is going to become Emperor. That's my theory. I won't tell you if it's right or not, but that's my theory because honestly, I have no idea why else this would be happening. And it's just, nothing's explained. Like, what the hell's a lictor? Like, that's what they're trying to become. But it's like, supposedly they're immortal, but they can die. And it's just, none of this makes sense. None of it. And absolutely nothing is being explained. And I'm just a little annoyed and a little sick of it. And I just want to love it. And I just am like really frustrated with it. But I only have like 110 more pages left. 114 pages left, so we'll see. But I will talk to you all tomorrow. I'm going to bed. Good night. All right, it's 11:40 on Thursday, and I just finished Gideon the Ninth. Some things were explained, kind of. A lot more questions have arisen. Still very confused. I'm really happy. I thought there was about to be like a Deus Ex Machina moment where like someone just like comes and like saves the day. But that didn't happen, which I was really happy about because I really thought it was going to. The climax was epic. You know, the past few books I read, I kept feeling like it just happened too fast. The climaxes, and this one, not so much. This one was a lot, and it felt like multiple times. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna lose. Oh, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. I'm intrigued to see what happens next. So I'm definitely gonna pick up the sequel at some point. I don't know if I want to buy it, because this is gonna be like a 3.25 out of 5 stars, which is such an unpopular opinion and such a hot take. But honestly, I just found it too confusing. I still don't really like Haro. Like, we got like the backstory and stuff, and like I can understand where she's coming from, but I'd understand where like young her was coming from. So if she had been like really awful to Gideon for like a couple years and then like matured, I'd get it. But the fact that she like knows she's in the wrong for like being mean to Gideon for so long, and yet she kept doing it, didn't like it. Don't like the romance, which is a bit of a bummer. I was really hoping to love it. And yeah, so the only thing that's really going for it right now for me is that I'm interested to see the plot, and one character's storyline ended on quite kind of a cliffhanger. So I want to see what happens there. A Local Habitation by Shonda Maguire came today. It's over like on my bedpost, so I'm not gonna grab it, but I am gonna pick that up tomorrow. It's just under 400 pages, so 3 days should be just fine, especially because 2 of those are a weekend. I'm so happy it's Friday. Oh my gosh, tomorrow's Friday, but whatever. But yeah, so 3.25 out of 5 stars for Gideon the Ninth. Bit disappointed. I've also started Bloodhound today, by Tamora, and that's going well. Right now there's like fake silver going around. And I think that's going to be like the main plot, because they're trying to like figure out like who started it and who's distributing it and all this stuff. But liking it. The audiobook's good. I believe it's the same narrator as the last book, which is she's really good. Yeah, so love Becca so much. And yeah, that's going well. So I'm gonna go to bed. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Hi guys, it's Saturday. I did not update you yesterday, and you wanna guess why? It's because I didn't read anything. Are we surprised? No. I did just finish filming the Winter Wishes box from Owl Crate, which was a special edition for the anthology Universe of Wishes. I really liked it. Sneak peek, which this video is coming out first, is this gel bead mask, which is my favorite thing from the box. So I thought I would come and tell you why I didn't update on Tuesday. I tried this earlier, like on Wednesday, but I didn't think I got it quite great, the story, because now I'm in the room that is centered around this story is centered around. So I thought I would give you a deeper telling. So on Tuesday, I came home, and a woman who is a friend of my dad's, she's in town and she's staying with us, was here. And I used to live in this bed. This used to be my bedroom. There's two beds. They used to be bunk beds, which right against where you are situated here. So all back here along this wall was my bed. And there's the door. Here was the bed right in front of the cabinet, closet. And I slept here for the first 6 years of my life. And it always scared the bejesus out of me. I hated sleeping down here. My dad was convinced it was because the furnace was right next door and I was scared of the furnace. But it wasn't an auditory thing. It was the fact that so many times there was a dark figure with a cowboy hat standing at the bottom of my bed staring at me. Now this just scared me so badly for years. I would run upstairs and make my parents let me sleep with them, or sleep upstairs in the loft, which is now my bedroom. And as soon as my parents divorced, I did move up there, and I was like, nope, I'm sleeping in the loft. Like, I'm done with this bedroom. I'm done. And it just always freaked me out. Even when I didn't see the figure, I always felt like something was staring at me. And I really, really didn't like it. And, little kid, scared of the dark, this whole figure thing, I just didn't like it. So I moved out. As I grew older though, I realized I have sleep paralysis, which was probably the reason why I was seeing this figure. If you don't know what sleep paralysis is, it is when your mind is awake but your body is asleep, and it causes severe hallucinations. And mine are always scary. It's always figures standing at my bed, or just ghosts and demons and that sort of thing. And so as I grew up, I was like, that's definitely what it was. I made my peace with it. I was like, it was just my sleep paralysis. I was just too young to understand what that was, and we're all good. I still live in the loft just because now that's my room, but I do sleep down here occasionally, but I'm no longer scared of this room. On Tuesday, I was talking with this woman who I will call Jane, not her name, and we were talking, and she asked me, she was like, oh, so did you ever, and she was sleeping down here, and she's like, because this is now our guest room, and she said, oh, did you ever live down here? And I was like, yeah, for the first 6 years of my life. I was like, but I was just always, it scared me. Do you want to know what she said? She looked at me and said, oh, do you see the shadow figure too? My soul left my body, and just this haze of fear and oh my God, just settled over me. And I was like, are you joking? I had convinced myself, I had forced myself to believe that it was my sleep paralysis. I was imagining things. I was young. And all along, there is something down here. She saw it. She's a doctor of psychology. She's an older woman. This isn't someone, younger who is prone to seeing things or whatever. She is a smart, logical woman, and she sees it. And for some reason, I didn't bring up the hat. I was like, maybe, maybe my mind just added the hat later. I'm like, it's a weird thing to remember. And then she said, yeah, with the cowboy hat. And I was like, great. It's really great. That's really fun for me. So I'm haunted, basically. It's in this room. and I don't know why I'm down here, and I'm gonna like watch this footage back, and it's gonna be like there. It's still light out though, and I've never seen it when it was light. I haven't seen it in years, but she saw it recently. She stayed with us twice recently. One was through Christmas and New Year's. She saw it. We call it a him because he's tall and lean and has a cowboy hat, and you don't see features. It's just a shadowy figure, but it's a him. And she saw him like a few times the last time she was here, and then one time when she was here this past week. I saw him a lot when I was younger, and she also said that even when she didn't see him, you can feel something watching you. And I wanted to cry and scream and die a little bit. I can't believe it. Thankfully, not malicious. He's been here for like 23 years and has never hurt anyone. So he's not a malicious ghost, but I'm haunted. Basically, that is basically what this means. He doesn't speak, he doesn't do anything, he just stands and stares, which is a little creepy, but he's a ghost. So like, there you go. And I'm really freaking myself out being down here, so this is really fun. But I literally called like everyone, and my mom, I was like, Mom, do you remember like when I was so scared when I was younger? She was like, yes. And I told her recently about this figure and being like, yeah, what is my sleep paralysis? And I was like, yeah, that figure. I'm like, nope, it's an actual friggin' ghost. And because I have someone who I don't know that well, you know, she's like a new person. I didn't meet her until like Christmas, like say that she also experienced this is a pretty telltale sign that this is actually a thing. And I asked my best friend, who used to like literally come over every weekend from 1st grade through 5th grade, and we used to sleep down here, and I was like, listen, did you ever see this like dark figure? She said, no, but I hate your basement. And one time she dog sat when my dad and I were on a trip, and she was like, yeah, and one time I was doing the laundry, which the laundry room is also down here. She's like, and the lights turned off on me. So I ran upstairs. She was like, I thought it was maybe the circuit breaker, but there's a light switch at the top of the stairs to like illuminate the bottom of the stairs. She's like, no, but when I turned that on, the lights turned on. So the ghost basically turned off the lights on her for reasons, I don't know why. And yeah, so literally we're haunted, which is really fun. I hate it. I've always believed in ghosts, especially just because of this figure. I like convinced myself that's my sleep paralysis. There's always a part of me that was like, girl, it's a ghost. Like, let's be honest here. And so I've always believed in ghosts, and you know, ghost movies scare the bejesus out of me. I love watching them, but they do scare me. And I'm just like, you know, and so now the fact, but there's always, you know, a part of me that was like, okay, but like, it's never actually happened to you. So like, maybe there aren't ghosts. But now that it has been confirmed that there is a ghost living in this basement, and that I have seen him many times, I'm very scared. But there's also a little bit of relief. Now that's been a few days, I can like look back and be like, you know what, there's actually a bit of relief that I wasn't crazy, that I wasn't just a paranoid little kid, that I wasn't just scared of the dark and seeing things. Like, this is real, and it's a little calming almost. Like, I feel like at peace. Because I don't know, for such a long time, and I think the reason why I convinced myself that it was just my sleep paralysis is because people would be like, yeah, okay, like, how old were you? Oh, 5? Like, okay, you know? And I was just like, yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, you know, it wasn't a ghost. No one believed me. But now that I have confirmation, it's relieving almost. And I don't know, like, I don't know if I am scared of him. Like, yes, ghosts, scary, right? But the fact that I know he's not malicious, he's been here for too long to be malicious, is okay. So if I have to have a haunted house, at least it's a nice ghost. And it's like, my dad built this house, so it's not even like, I don't know why it's here. We think it might have been like a shootout on the property like centuries ago, because we live in the Wild West, and because he had a cowboy hat, or like maybe he got stranded in the winter and froze or something. But we don't think he is malicious for sure. And yeah, so I'm haunted, and I'm scared that I'm gonna look back at this footage and he's gonna be standing somewhere in here that I'm just not really looking too closely at this moment. But I'm gonna go upstairs, read, and start an infatuation of I forgot what it's called, by my October Day Book of the Month by Seanan McGuire. And I'm gonna stop talking about this now because I'm starting to give myself the heebie-jeebies and I have to pack up this Winter Wishes box before I do anything else. So I will talk to you all later. All right. It's 11:50 and I just got to the halfway point of A Local Habitation and I'm already liking this one a lot more than the first one. And I think the reason why is that this is focused a lot more on the murder than the first one. And usually I wouldn't find that to be the case, that I'm interested in it because of the murder, but something about the last book, I don't know, maybe it just felt a little info dumpy, like she's reacquainting herself with the world and then just like info dumping so much stuff on us. I don't know, there's just some reason why I didn't like the first one as much, but I'm definitely enjoying this one. I'm really interested to see where it goes. It's kind of like a And Then There Were None. I think it's like where people are dying off like one by one and they're trying to figure out who did it. And I'm really liking it. There's also, I think, gonna be a romance between October and a specific person that I'm not gonna say who it is, but you meet them in the first book. And it's kind of, oh, it's like so good. It's like the type of trope where the guy's like, you're like human. She's half human, but he's like, you aren't worth my time. And like, you know, tries to be all like, me. And then, but he's got the soft spot for her and that does stuff to me, okay? I'm still just like a hoe for that. It's like, you know, the angsty paranormal romance sort of thing where it's like, I'm so much more powerful than you. Why would I waste my, you know, waste my energy on you? But then like they're always there at their beck and call. Like he literally, she's drunk in the beginning because she like went out with friends and she walks home and he just like shows up on her walk home and is like, what are you doing? It's cold out. You're not wearing a jacket. Have my jacket. And like, why are you walking alone? What are you doing? You know, and he like picks her up and like takes her home, like carries her home and then like hangs out with her in her house while she sleeps. Okay, that sounds like weird, but like, I don't know, you know, he's just like, he like makes sure she's okay and I'm obsessed with it. When I first met him in the first book, he was like angry, you know, he was like not happy with her. She was just like, yeah, he hates me, but you know, and I'm like, no, he doesn't. He's attracted to you and he hates that he's attracted to you, you know. I love it. At least that's what I thought, but I definitely think I'm right. And I immediately was like, yes. Yes. And maybe a part of what I didn't like about the first book is that she was involved with a guy who's like very, very abusive and like she knew that and like she left him for it. And like, I mean, it doesn't stay, like they break up. And it's just like, you know, that really like, and I knew that it wasn't gonna be the end game because she knew, like she was like, this is super abusive, I don't like him, but I'm gonna sleep with him because he's really good in bed. And like, you know, he kind of had like this power over her because he took her in when she was young. And I don't know, but anyways, like that was last book. And this, I just love the budding romance between her and this character. There's no romance to speak of yet, but like the budding friendship, I guess, because he's finally like kind of doing nice stuff for her, which is like, oh my god. But this is also a huge series, so I bet it is hella slow burn, and I'm really sad about it because I kind of want them together now. But who knows, maybe they'll become a friends with benefits thing that then turns into boyfriend girlfriend, because I love that as well. So I'm enjoying it for sure, and it's just so fast paced. I'm a little over halfway actually. 188 was halfway and I'm at 198. So like I have 180 pages left, which I'm gonna try and get to quickly tomorrow because we are having a Super Bowl party, which is mixing with my birthday, which is on Wednesday. And so we are gonna have people over. And my dad also hurt his knee skiing like 2 days ago. Yesterday. And so I'm gonna have to help like do the cooking and stuff because he can't stay on his feet for too long. So I'm going to try and tomorrow wake up earlier than I did today. Today was like I fell asleep on my couch last night because we were watching TV. And then I woke up at midnight. Then I wasn't tired, and so I stayed up till like 4:30. And then I had a nightmare where I fell and banged my teeth on my counter and lost these 2 teeth. And like
it hurt. Like, I was in pain. I'm still having like phantom pains. Like, it was so weird. And like, I was in so much pain, and I don't know why my brain didn't wake me up, because like I went through this dream like screaming and crying, and there was blood, and I was like, oh my God, for like, felt like minutes. And then I woke up like, and so I just been like, I don't know why I brought this up. Oh, and then I like couldn't get to sleep for a little bit because I was like, oh my God, I was so freaked out. So I slept until like 10:30 today, which is not that late, honestly. I kind of got a really late start to the day. So I'm gonna try and wake up at 9:30, which, oh, another thing, because my dad tweaked his knee, we're having turkey tomorrow, and he was like, I can't go downstairs to like check how much the turkey weighs to see how long we need to cook it. So I had to go, and it was in the guest room where I was like, the ghost is, and like I took my dog down with me, and she refused to go into the room. I literally tried like dragging her, and she refused to go in. She took one step in and then booked it upstairs. So there's a ghost. Like, very sad. And like, she goes in like during the day, but not during the night. And yeah, so that was no fun. So I was kind of freaking out. It took me forever to find the poundage. I was just standing there like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I like booked it upstairs. So didn't see him. And it's like, it doesn't happen like regularly enough. Like, I wish I could like set this out and like film. I mean, the battery would definitely die before I could like finish it or like get through the night, but I wish it happened like every night so I could film and try to like show you, but it doesn't. It's very sporadic, so can't do it. But I am going to go to bed. I'm pretty sure my battery is at like 2 bars, which is very sad because my charger's at my mom's house, as it always is, so I wouldn't be able to charge it. So I'm gonna go to bed. I'm really enjoying a local habitation, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, hi guys, it's Sunday. I am in my car. I'm about to go to the gym. I'm just like in my driveway because, you know, my dad's in the house, the TVs are on. So I thought it'd be easier just update you out here. I have 78 pages of a local habitation, and I am loving it. I'm having such a good time. The guy who I want October with is now like with her and like protecting her, and I'm living for it. But there's also another character that, like, I don't know why Seanan McGuire is doing this, because he's married and there's no way they're ever gonna be able to be together, but she's like trying to push this one character like romance on her. And like, I get that they used to have something, and I think they used to like be in love, and so like I get it, but also like he's married to like a princess, so there's nothing that's gonna happen, and I feel like it's just creating drama when I just want her to be with the character I want her to be with. I mean, I don't know if it'd be easy, but I think it'd be easier than her pining over a guy who's actually married. But I am liking it so much. I'm so excited to see what happens. I love the "and then there were none" trope where like people are being picked off one by one, because I feel like it just raises the stakes. It's not just one person who's died, it's like everyone's dying. I love it. I'm so excited to see what happens next. I love Quentin, who is this character you meet in the first book, but he's kind of become October's apprentice, and he is such a little bean. He's like in high school, he's like a baby, and I love him with my whole heart, and he's just like so sweet and just a cutie, and I am just so for it. I'm really liking it. I'm really excited to see what happens next. I had a theory of who was doing it. It was wrong, and I just don't know who's doing it. I'm really excited to see who it is, because the one character who you're kind of like, okay, it's probably this person, I guess has an alibi that we haven't learned about yet, and my hair is kind of floofy, that we haven't learned about yet, and we're supposed to learn at sundown. So we'll see, but I am excited to see who did it. I don't know, I'm scared it's gonna be one character, but I don't know. It could be some random person, but you kind of hope not, right? You hope it's one of these people so that you're like surprised and not just like, oh, it was some random person we've never heard of before. Like, no. So I'm pumped and we shall see, but I'm going to the gym first, and then hopefully when I come home, I'm just gonna sit down and finish the book. Hello. It is a few hours later. It's like 3:40. I'm all done up for our little Super Bowl get together. My eyebrows are not the same, but you know, sometimes you just gotta deal with the eyebrows that you have. But I was able to finish A Local Habitation by Sean McGuire, and I really liked this. I feel like it was so much better than the first one. I almost want to give the first one a lower rating just because this was so much better. I gave it a 4.25 out of 5 stars because nothing was like that revolutionary about it. But I just really liked the story. I really liked Toby and our main, I think, love interest. I'm hoping, because I think he's just starting to realize he has feelings for her, and I'm obsessed with it. So really enjoyed this. I don't think that the killer came out of nowhere, but it was still like a surprising revelation when it did happen. But really liked it. I am gonna give it a 4.25 out of 5 stars, and I might be dropping Rosemary and Rue to maybe like a 3.25 because I think this one is just leagues and beyond the first one. So I'm just really impressed. I'm really excited to continue this series. But I think I'm just going to wrap up the vlog here, especially because my battery is flashing. So I finished 2 books this month or week. I finished Gideon the Ninth, which was quite the disappointment, and I gave it a 3.25 out of 5 stars. And then I did also finish, as I just said, A Local Habitation by Sean McGuire, which I gave a 4.25 out of 5 stars. I am about 40% of the way through Bloodhound, and I'm really enjoying it, but I'll talk more about that one next week. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon with another video.